I mean, the things living in Nigeria, they're cheaper than living in the US until I started to do maths. And trust me, this video will be about dollar rates. This is not just straight up affordability analysis. And some of the examples I will give you go say, how you know you never live for US before? I don't need to live for US to understand maths. You get. So, and I will use a very simple analogy, just analyze a very simple item so that you understand which side they talk. Because economics no dey as hard as they make and be. A can of Coke in Nigeria is 500 naira or 600, depending on the shop you buy them from. A can of Coke, that same size in the US, will cost you around $1, equivalent to 1.5 or 1.4. It ain't more expensive here now. Look at the price. It's 1.4 here. But here na 500 naira. So it's they talk. But you know if you calculate cost of living without considering affordability, you do that simple. And what do I mean? You go check the Nigerian man, what will be minimum wage? The minimum wage in Nigeria is 70k, 70,000 naira a month. You go work every day for a month, they will give you 70k. In the US, the minimum wage, monthly minimum wage, depending on the states, now around $1,100 to $2,500. So let's say the average, we'll just give them average. The average minimum wage in the US per month is $1,500. And somebody making that amount wants to buy a can of Coke. He buys that for $1. The Nigerian man, 70k, he buy a can of Coke for 500 naira. You will say, okay. So that now we check what is the percentage value of a can of Coke from his 70,000 naira salary. Do the maths. I get the maths on my head. Now 0.7% in the pay to just drink Coke. So 0.7% of his salary now in the pay to drink Coke. Now you go to the US man. He make $1,500 a month and he won't drink can of Coke. It will be that. It will be the value of can of Coke relative to his salary. It's 0.04%. The Nigerian man is paying 8 to 15 times as much, depending on the item, than the US man is paying if you compare and out to waiting each of them they make based on minimum wage. So knowing the cost of living across different regions is not about just looking at the price tag. Is it higher here? Is it cheaper here? Then okay, the cost of living here is higher. No, don't do price tags. Do affordability if you want to really know where they're more expensive. So using this example, Nigeria cost of living, they're very high. Maybe we know they're deceived to think, because our price tags are lower here, it means our cost of living is cheaper here. Wrong. That is not how you calculate cost of living at all. Now based on affordability. So if you find this video insightful and if you feel relate to my logic, kindly let me know how this thing apply to you. Are you a Nigerian living in diaspora? Is my logic wrong? What do you think? And also know say I use only Coke as an example for this video, but it applies to a lot of other, it applies to transportation, applies to rent, applies to a lot of other things. So I know just call because I just want to keep the video basic. So can you like, comment, share to your friend?
I like as this guy properly educated some of you on this topic that I've always hammered on. Sure, you understand? Let's even talk about the minimum wage. Even the minimum wage, the 70k in Nigeria, how many people are paid up to 70k? The minimum wage is just audio minimum wage. It's just Nigerian political brouhaha, you understand? People still earn 20k, 30k, 15k, 40k, per month. So the minimum wage in Nigeria is even not effective, it's dead. But what I want to also reiterate based on this video is, no, they let Nigerians whether abroad, they lie for you. All those things where they use lie for you, now big lies, you understand? When Nigerians abroad, they say they are paying monthly house rent, they will come back and feel like say they are paying too much or they are paying more. If they calculate that their monthly house rent after 1 year, and minus it from what they earn in that 1 year, calculate that one where you pay only 1 year in Nigeria, you will see that out of their salary, what they paid is small compared with what you paid in your country in Nigeria from your salary, you understand? And they will be making you feel like, we pay monthly rent. My brother, at the end of every month, what they earn minus that monthly rent, you see that you that is paying per 1 year, divide your rent by 12. What you pay monthly in Nigeria, you see that minus it from your salary, you see that you're the one paying more than them. But they like to blackmail people in Nigeria and make you feel that they have more expenses here. You are practically making more expenses in Nigeria in terms of bills, taxes, rent, and everything more than those abroad. Let it sink in your head so that whenever any abroad person wants to come and be blackmailing you and be telling you that expenses, we pay rent monthly, we pay bills, we pay tax, just let them know that you are aware that you in Nigeria, you pay more than them. If they want you to do a practical explanation, let the two of them sit down, bring their salary, bring your own, make una begin to calculate how much you spend to give yourself 2 hours light per day in Nigeria. Let them calculate how much they spend in a month to get light uninterrupted, you understand? Begin to calculate how much they remove from their salary to pay rent every month. Calculate how much you remove in your salary that goes into your rent. That's your yearly rent. Calculate all the bills, those bills that are making you feel like you pay. Calculate how much you give a bucket to fetch water for you. Calculate how much you buy gas to cook. Let them calculate how much the gas that does not finish in their house costs them. How much their water that does not finish costs them. You see that at the end, what you're paying from your salary is way more than what they are paying from their salary. But because of they are here, you're there, they will call the money. You think that they are abroad people are making expenses more than you. You are making 10 times, 20 times, 100 times more expenses than those people abroad. So let it sink in your head so that they will stop blackmailing you with we pay rent monthly. I'm not saying you should start billing those abroad, but know that you are suffering more than them. You are suffering 100 times more than those abroad. Simple.